CBS News security analyst and former assistant director of the FBI, Ron Hosko, is in Washington. So, Ron, at the hearing, Wray said he does not think special counsel Robert Mueller is on a witch hunt. If confirmed, how could Wray affect the investigation into Russian meddling?
Well, Elaine, I think his primary purpose will be to understand what resources Bob Mueller needs, investigative resources, probably a technical infrastructure, secure space, communications, and make sure that if those are reasonable, that they are provided. You know, the other caveat with that was, I think he told the senators that if he saw obstacles, that you know, the belief that either the White House or DOJ was presenting obstacles to Bob Mueller's requests to his investigation, that he would take steps to understand what those were and the propriety of them and take the appropriate action.
Wray showed respect for his predecessor and former colleague James Comey, but also said he would have done some things differently. How did he separate himself from Comey?
Well, you know, there is certainly there were voices within the FBI and plenty of them outside of the FBI that believed by DOJ policy and by longstanding practice, Jim Comey went way beyond the bounds of an FBI director, even given the circumstances that he faced a year ago when he made this extraordinary press announcement about Hillary Clinton's conduct, who had been an unindicted subject of an FBI case. It was an extraordinary statement from a policy perspective, from a practice perspective, and I think that reasonable voices said Jim Comey went too far, and that that was reasonable grounds to remove him as director. And so I think that the nominee, you know, referred to that longstanding practice and policy of avoiding those sorts of comments on an unindicted subject who isn't really positioned to defend themselves, although Hillary Clinton certainly, you know, was inclined to defend herself and had been. And on that basis, he suggested that he would do things differently.
Do you know how Wray is seen by the rank and file within the FBI?
Yeah, my sense is that he will get broad acceptance. The fact that he was previously a line prosecutor down in Georgia, had worked hand in hand with FBI agents, you know, investigating and prosecuting cases before he moved up here to DOJ, that he has that DOJ leadership experience that is valuable in understanding the FBI at a headquarters perspective and how it operates and the scope of its mission. Those are very valuable traits for a future FBI director. And I think because of that, because of the sense that the FBI has been drawn in or moved into this political firestorm that it's been in for a year, you know, the employees are not looking for that, even though there was very high regard for Jim Comey personally and professionally. I think the workforce is ready to move forward and move on and embrace change that is coming their way, and certainly embrace the part of the organization that hopes to be outside or under the political radar.
Wray was also questioned about his previous role as Assistant Attorney General under President George W. Bush, specifically about the use of torture in interrogations after September 11th. He told lawmakers he does not condone torture, but could his past challenge his confirmation?
You know, Elaine, I think it was one of the more interesting pieces of this confirmation hearing today that in the second round of questioning, Senator Durbin produced a document that made reference to the Assistant Attorney General, or reference to the criminal division having passed judgment on a practice or policy. Well, that at that time was Christopher Wray. He said he hadn't seen that particular document, that really, by Durbin's description, didn't really change the enhanced interrogation tactics mindset. But I think that could be a little bit of a hamstring for him to dig further and to respond further. I personally thought that the senator spent far too much time using this nominee as a straw man for them to expound on their political arguments about Russia and about the Trump presidency, instead of substantive questions about him, the candidate.
All right, Ron Hosko in Washington for us. Ron, thanks very much.
You're welcome.